You hear it everywhere in the AI world, right? That magic number, $10,000 a month. It's the big dream they're selling to anyone who wants to build an app. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the real strategy to get there. And we're going to focus on one incredible tool, Google AI Studio. So let's just ask it straight up. Can you really make 10 grand a month building AI apps with no code? I mean, we all see the headlines, we see the hype, but is it for real? Can someone like you, without a PhD in computer science, actually build a profitable app from the ground up? Let's dig in. Okay, so the short answer, yeah, it is possible. But, and this is a big but, the dream you see online and the day-to-day reality are, let's just say, miles apart. So what we're going to do today is build a bridge between that dream and the reality. I'm going to show you the real path, what the grind actually looks like, and the strategy that works, not just the flashy numbers. All right, let's start with the dream itself. I mean, think about it. The idea that you can build a whole software business without writing a single line of code. That's a game changer. It's an incredibly powerful idea, and it's only possible because of some amazing new tools that have come out. And right at the heart of this whole no-code dream, there's one platform that's basically like your own personal AI factory. And yep, you guessed it, that's Google AI Studio. So, what is Google AI Studio? Let's break it down. Imagine a tool, totally free, that just runs in your web browser. No installs, nothing complicated. And instead of coding, you just talk to it. You use plain English. You could say something like, hey, build me a tool that writes awesome social media captions. And bam, its brain, the Gemini AI model, actually builds a working app for you. Seriously. This is the key that's unlocking the door for so many people who thought they could never build software. Okay, check out this chart. This is super helpful because it shows you exactly where Google AI Studio fits into the bigger picture. You've got these heavy-duty platforms for building full web apps, like Bubble, right? And then you have automation tools like Zapier. And way over on the other side, you have traditional, hardcore coding, which takes a ton of skill. But look at that sweet spot in the middle. That's Google AI Studio. The learning curve is super easy, and it's built specifically for making AI-powered apps. It's pretty much the perfect place to start. So, here's the main takeaway, the thing you really need to remember. Its superpower is building those AI-first apps and really specific niche tools, and you can do it all without being a tech wizard. That's the core advantage. So if your big idea has AI at its heart, this is absolutely where you want to begin. All right, so you've got the tool, that's great, but how you actually make money with it, right? That's the important part. Well, when you look at the data, it's pretty clear there are two main roads people are taking to turn these AI apps into cash. So you've got two choices, really. You can be a freelancer, where you're basically a hired gun. You build custom apps for specific clients to solve their problems. Or you can be a creator. This is where you build one product, a SaaS app, and you sell it to lots and lots of customers. Both paths can work, for sure, but man, they are very, very different. Okay, let's look at the freelancer path first. The numbers here tell a really clear story. If you're just building generic Me Too tools, you're going to be stuck at the bottom, fighting for scraps, maybe a few $100 a project. But look at that top line. If you specialize, if you become the go-to person for building AI tools for, say, law firms or for dental offices, you can charge anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000. Just let that sink in for a second. Niching down isn't just a good idea, it's everything. All right, now let's switch gears and talk about the creator path. This isn't about landing one big project. Nope. This is all about slow, steady, compounding growth. The data suggests it'll probably take you a couple of months just to hit your first $1,000 in monthly revenue. And getting to that magic $10,000 a month number, you're realistically looking at a 9 to 18-month journey. This is a marathon, people, not a sprint. And that brings us to what might be the most important part of this whole conversation, the reality check. Because behind all the hype, behind the big income numbers, there is a ton of work. There is a serious grind. I really want to just pause on this quote for a moment. It comes straight out of a research report, and it says, this is not a get-rich-quick avenue. I mean, it's blunt, but it's so important to hear. These new tools make the building part easier, sure, but they don't magically make the business part any easier. And that's a huge difference. And this graph, man, this graph shows the journey perfectly. Look at that blue line. That's your effort. It's sky high at the beginning, right? You're building, you're launching, you're doing everything. Now look at the red line. That's your revenue.
It starts at zero and just crawls along. It's painful. For probably the first year, you are putting in maximum effort for almost no money. The whole game is just surviving long enough to get to that crossover point where the money you're making finally overtakes the effort you're putting in. This period right here, this is where most people give up.
So why? Why do so many people fail during that brutal grind? Well, this number gives us a massive clue. 42%. That's how many startups fail, not because their product was terrible, but because nobody actually wanted to buy it. They built something they thought was cool, they fell in love with their own idea, but they never stopped to ask, does anyone actually need this enough to pay for it? And that mistake leads right into all of these others, which come straight from the data. People try to do everything for everyone. They price their work way too low because they're scared. They spend all their time building and almost no time marketing or selling. They're not upfront about how they're using AI. And the biggest one of all, they quit inside what's called the valley of death. You know, that soul-crushing period between month 6 and 18, where the initial excitement is gone, but the real money hasn't shown up yet. Let me put this in perspective for you. Go onto a site like Upwork and type in AI app developer. You know what you'll find? Over 150,000 other people calling themselves the exact same thing. That's not a competition. That's a race to the bottom on who can work for the cheapest. The only way to win is to refuse to play that game. You have to specialize. Don't be an AI developer, be the AI chatbot expert for Shopify stores. See the difference?
Okay, we've talked about the dream, we've talked about the different ways to make money, and we've definitely talked about the harsh reality of the grind. So what now? Where do you even begin? Well, the good news is the research gives us a really clear step-by-step plan to get started.
Here it is, your first 30 days, broken down week by week. Week 1, it's all about learning. Seriously, forget about money, just get your hands dirty and Google AI Studio. Build 3, 4, 5 simple practice apps. Then, weeks 2 and 3, it's time to focus. Pick that niche we've been talking about and build 2 really solid apps for your portfolio. Apps that prove you can solve a real problem for that specific audience. And then, week 4, it's go time. You launch, you create your profiles on freelance sites, and you start reaching out to people. It's a simple, focused plan, no guesswork. So let's just be real for a second. The whole idea of hitting 10 grand a month overnight, it's a fantasy. It's a kind of clickbait you see on YouTube thumbnails. But the potential to build a real, sustainable business, one that makes $3, $5, or even $10,000 a month over time, that is 100% real. The only catch? You have to be willing to survive the grind. So that leaves us with just one question, the one you see right here. Are you ready to build?